Hello, my friends. How are you? I'm doing great because I'm here in the stamp room. Yay! It's Lyssa with SongOfMyHeartStampers.com, and I have a fun new fancy fold to share with you today. It's called the Stand Up Pinwheel card, and here it goes. Isn't that fun? It's folding, it just keeps folding, and it stands up by itself on somebody's desk or at the office. Isn't that cute? And it's so easy to make. And look, it folds flat enough that it can go in a regular envelope. I absolutely love that. How fun is that? And there's just one little trick to it, and everything else works just amazingly. So for my card, I used the Sweet Strawberry bundle, and it's a stamp set and punch, and it's just awesome because you can make endless amounts of strawberries, the little flowers, the stems, and the leaves, plus all these cute sayings, and that's on page 43 of the new Stampin' Up! Catalog. And if you don't have one, my catalogs are free. I'd be happy to send you one. Just let me know or private message me with your address. So this would be where you write on this card, and the rest of it's all decorated. So there is a lot of opportunity for embellishment and decoration on this card. Just remember not to make it too puffy, not too many layers of embellishment, because it does need to be overall thin enough to fit in an envelope. Okay? Isn't that fun? I love cards that move. So fun. I wish you guys could see it from the right angle. Stood up. This one's going to be hard to photograph, but I will take some still photos of it too. All right, I laid out the paper like this because I wanted you to see how you get one whole card, even with all these parts and pieces, from one sheet of 8.5 by 11. So your base piece is going to be 5.75, which is 5 3/4, by 4.25. And you remember 4.25 is how tall a normal card is, so that's how it's going to fit in the envelope that way. 5.75 is actually a little longer than a regular card would be, so, but that's okay because we're going to do some scoring. So that leaves you with, so you cut right down the middle to get that 4.25 measurement. And then you need 3 panels of 4.25, 4 1/4, by 2.75, which is 2 3/4. So if you know your card making, that is exactly 1/4 of a half a sheet of cardstock. So for instance, this measurement here would be the 5.5, and half of 5.5 is 2 3/4. So there's not going to be any waste here. You're going to get more than the panels needed for this card. Plus you'll have this big piece left over that you can do your punching or your sentiment pieces, or make another card with that. Okay, so this is what we need. Again, that's 5.75 by 4 1/4, and then 3 pieces that are 4 1/4 wide by 2.75, or 2 3/4. Okay, so it's a little confusing, but these are going to be these longer panels like that. Okay. All right, now we're going to do the only scoring we have to do for this entire card. This is the only tricky part, and the scoring is at 3/4 of an inch. It's my wider end here. I like the wide end of my stylus. So 3/4 of an inch, 1.5, which is 1 1/2. What's the next one here? 2.25, which is 2 1/4, and the last one is just flat 3 inches. Okay, so let's go over that one more time. 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, and 3, and that gave us all these equal panels. Did I get that one on the right one? I didn't. Oh, we're gonna have a little blurb here. Okay, well, I'll show you what happens when I score wrong. So I accidentally scored at 2 7/8 instead of 3. So I'm going to flip that over and take my stylus and lightly run it over the raised score mark. And it practically disappears. It's really very cool. And all you're doing is just lightly pushing that paper back into the little crease you just made there. That's a handy tip to know. Okay, yeah, you can see it, but it's nowhere near like as visible as a score mark would be. So now we have our equal panels of 3/4 of an inch each. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the scoreboard since we've got our pieces all ready. And this is the mechanism that makes it all work. So the end with all the scores, you can fold any direction. And we're going to fold on all those scores. And just to make sure they're good and professional, I'm going to use my bone folder on each score to make sure they're nice and crisp. All right. And this is going to fold around to make a little tiny square. Just like that. That is what makes the whole card work. Look at this. You see it? Isn't that awesome? I can't believe it's so easy, right? Okay, so we need to put adhesive on just that end flap, just that last one, so that when we fold it around to make our box, it will stick. It always makes me nervous. There we go. All right, that's our piece. Let's see, did I have it like this? I had it like this. I'm not sure it matters, but what we got to do now is go around and adhere all of these pieces like this. You see what we're doing here? Hopefully my hands are not in the way too much. Okay, so each one of these little panels is going to get attached to this square. So I'm going to flatten out my square and put tear and tape on each one. So it's all ready to go, and I can just rip them off when I get my... The only part that I found confusing when I made this the first time was making sure that the panels go out in the pinwheel. Sometimes I glued them on so they were like this. That was not good. You can see where that would just not work, would it? Okay, so don't get fancy. Check and make sure you've got the right direction for those panels before you stick them down. Look at how fast this is going, you guys. And I'm even stopping and telling directions and stuff, so you can see how fast this would be. Really no more work than a regular card, right? Look at that. We did it. And now, look at that. It folds flat. Isn't this fun? I love stuff like this. Oh, it makes a noise. Funny. Okay, the rest is just embellishing, which I'm not going to do today, but I did want to give you the measurements for the pattern paper pieces. So you're going to need 4 pieces that are 2.5 inches wide by 4 tall, and that will go on each one of these large panels with a nice border all the way around. Okay, so you're going to need 4 of those. Again, that's 2.5 inches by 4 inches. And then if you want to do these little panels, you're going to need 3. And the reason you only need 3 of these is because one of them gets left blank so that you can actually write on it. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could cover all 4 of these and then leave one of the large ones blank to write on. But sometimes I just want to sign my name and that's it, basically. So that's why I did it like that. Okay, so these smaller pieces are 1.75, which is 1 3/4 by 4 inches. All right. Super cute. I love double-sided paper for this because it just coordinates already perfectly. And of course, this is fun paper for the strawberries. So there you go, you guys. What do you think? Is that your new favorite fancy fold? You have got to give this one a try. And you've also got to get the Sweet Strawberry stamp set and matching punch if you don't have it already. You can shop anytime at lyssa.stampinup.net, or see my blog for tutorials about this and other projects at songofmyheartstampers.com. Thanks for watching, everybody.